And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but in trouble here, and down he goes, back at the 8-yard line. Vic Beasley racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. And now running right through it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Again, it's Cook. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. To throw, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
20. 55 Mike. Hey, seam 6.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. He's going to fire. And this is taken in at the 5. And he doesn't quite make it. Taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first.
Here we go, G. Get off the field.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman. His 17th touchdown now on the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll go with Boone. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
We won it. Come to my world. Kill. 48.
They run it again with Cook. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. And that's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
On 2nd down, Cook. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Watch the safety creep.
On 1st down, boom. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They'll run with Cook, and he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead.
Let's go, baby.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Nice, sweetheart. Under 10.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 23-yard line.
Ready, blue 80. Black 25. Watch the slant.
This time Ryan will throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, Ryan. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Big loss on the play. Brings up fourth down.
Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. Here's Matt Bosher now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
Let's go.
At their own 38-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but it's still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face a 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And an alley to run. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And Diggs has it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Cousins. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from.
He's got him in, complete, past the 20, touchdown, Falcons. A big play there, 83 yards, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. So a big play coming for the Falcons as they'll go for 2. Here's Ryan to throw, and he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Vikings take
Let's go,
first down
let's go.
at their own
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty. But it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll need to regroup after the costly interception last time. It led to a tying touchdown. 21-all is where we stand, and they've got it 1st and 10. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Crouch. Check three.
Pilot, 64, weak.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cook. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Now Cook. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Matt Weil now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. And you know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd and a yard, Ryan escaping the pressure right. All tied up, less than 2 minutes to go. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run on 1st down. It's Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Brought down back at the 19-yard line.
Ready, back 25, 20, 20.
Here we are. Shit.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. He's going to fire one deep left side. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the 2nd quarter, he may very well have run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. To throw is Ryan. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game, because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
Watch that creep. Watch that creeping. Two. Switch.
They start the drive with Cook, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll keep it on the ground. Cook, he'll have a first down past the 40, and all the way down to the 41-yard line. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Cook. Again, he finds an opening. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook in the final minute, and they have taken the lead here in the final minute.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown. Late in the game, they look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts. Got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
It's now 4th down.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Vikings are going to win this football game. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. On the ground, it's Cook. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game.